Oh, hey, here we are. This is Live at Epifan. We have a great show planned for you today. This topic of today's show is called 10 Tips to Get More from Your Facebook Live broadcasts. So Facebook Live is over a year old now, and up to this point, it's still people are still learning about it, and we've been doing it for a while here, and we've kind of learned a lot about it in our brief time doing this. We're how many episodes in are we?
This is the 18th episode of this
18
show,
episodes in,
believe it or not. So, yeah, we've got a few under our belt, and we wanted to share some of the things that we've learned, some of the tips that we've gleaned from everything we've been doing here, and share those with you. So we've got 10 tips ready to go. But first, is there anything else that we wanted to cover off? Again, we said this is the 18th show. Oh yes, of course. Everyone who's watching live, don't be afraid to say hello and chat. Ask a question. We want this to be interactive, and we love hearing your feedback. It makes the show better, and if you have any questions or any ideas that come up during the broadcast, of course, throw them in a chat, and we'd be happy to respond to you.
We will address the fact that we're filming in front of an aquarium here, but that's going to come a bit later. So, yeah, let's jump right into the tips. First tip. Da-da-da. Schedule and share. So, one thing we've learned here is that if you're going to go live on Facebook, it's one thing to just go live right away, and people might see it or they might not. But you might as well let people know ahead of time. And Facebook is going to help you in a big way with this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you let people know in advance, they can plan to be there. So they can actually be on the stream link before the stream goes live.
That's right. You set up an event on your, if you have a Facebook group or a page, you can set up an event, which is ultimately, so before you go live, Facebook's going to send out these notifications. And you can also do it the old-fashioned way, send out emails to all of your subscriber base and everybody you know, and however else you communicate people on social communicate with people. Send them notifications so they know you're going to be going live.
Yeah, don't surprise everyone. Let them know. People want to know when you're going live, so help them to, by scheduling the event in advance.
Yeah.
Okay, tip number 2. We're talking about friends. Get your friends to share. You know what? Everybody knows Facebook is a social network, and when you engage with your network and share it with more friends, more people are going to see what you're doing. Every share you get, let's assume maybe you have 1,000 friends on Facebook. If you get a couple people to share, that's a couple thousand more people who your stream is showing up in their newsfeed. So it expands.
Yeah, especially when you're getting started too, and you might not have people who know that you go live in any way. So it might be nice to call in those favors and tap a few of your close friends and colleagues on the shoulder and say, hey, listen, can you come on my show and make a comment and help share the post, just to build up a little bit of an audience to give yourself a boost.
Yeah, definitely just don't be shy. People want to see when you're live. They're already your friends. They're your extended network, so don't be shy. Share, get more people engaged. And Facebook actually, the algorithm ranks content higher,
of course,
in timelines when there's more interaction and when there's more shares and people watching, comments, etc. So by promoting that interaction, you are making it, facilitating it so that more people will see your stream.
Okay, next one. Okay, now this is going to require some explaining. This is a group, and this group is called Badly Stuffed Animals. And I went down a few rabbit holes before we started this, and because I wanted to understand how people use groups. And in this case, if you are part of this group, which is a taxidermy group about people who like to showcase terribly stuffed animals.
That's a weird group.
It is really weird, and it's totally worth visiting, by the way. Then they're going to be interested in your live show, and you're going to get feedback from them if you share there. Mm-hmm. So if you have groups that you can tap into and share your posts there, which is one of the things that we do to build an audience here, everybody wins.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the whole point of a group is like-minded people are looking to share relevant content, right? Mm-hmm. So if you find groups that are relevant to what you're talking about, I mean, don't go and share it on if you're doing a cooking live stream, don't go sharing that in, like, I don't know, an extreme sports group. It doesn't make any sense.
Extreme cooking, perhaps.
And people won't, the administrators of those groups won't actually permit your post if it's not relevant. So find relevant groups to whatever it is that your live stream is about, and share your live stream there. It's a very quick way to grow your audience and expand the number of people who see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Which tip is this? What is this, 4?
Yes.
Cross promote, Facetube Gram. So what are we talking about here? This is
everybody has their own networks that they may or may. Way nice. Whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram.
Yeah.
You're gonna have certain people that go to certain social networks, so they might not have any idea that you go live on Facebook. So you might as well promote on those networks as well that you're going to be going live on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other thing is that the impression is very valuable. When people see you across multiple platforms, it just adds that level of professionalism. The more times that someone sees your branding, your logo, or encounters your stream or your content.
Yeah, you're already making the content anyway. So
yeah, just reminding people you exist. You might as well be cross-promoting across all the social media networks and taking advantage of all that they have to offer.
Okay. Next tip. Okay. Higher production value. So I went to art school. This is the result of my
drawing diamonds is not
my
easy.
degree
So
in art school. Yeah,
I'm quite impressed.
Yeah. So this is about higher production value. If you can stand out from most of Facebook Live videos are people with their cell phones, and a lot of the times those look okay. But if you can use better production gear like a Webcaster X2 and use a real camera feed coming in, you're going to stand out in a big way. And like anything else, if you have good-looking content, people are going to be more interested in it. So it's a really easy way to get a boost again when you're starting out. Just do better broadcasts.
And I mean, just think of it. People are scrolling their timelines. They're within 1 second, they're deciding whether or not they're going to commit any amount of time to your content, right? So that first impression is extremely important. And you know what? The good news is that the barrier to entry for live stream is actually very low right now. Most people are live streaming with their cell phones, which means that 90% of the live streams out there, the quality is actually not that great. So if you do that one little thing just to step it up a bit, you elevate your brand, you elevate what you're doing, and you stand out from the crowd in a big way.
Okay, where are we now?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom! The first 10 seconds. Make a big impression. So what are we talking about here? This is about after your live stream ends, Facebook converts it into a video on demand immediately thereafter, which means that people will continue to find your content even once your stream has ended. The reason why the first 10 seconds is so important is because that's what people are going to see once your video is an on-demand video. So if you can make a big impression in that first 10 seconds, have a shark swimming by behind you, have some music playing or something exciting happening right at the very beginning, it's going to engage your audience quicker. It's going to encourage them to stick around and see what your stream is all about.
Yeah. So that leads us to our shark attack. So when I was thinking about one of the important things, just kind of what you just said, is getting engaging visuals right off the top is important. So that's why we have an aquarium with sharks swimming at us today, because we want to have something a little bit more interesting, because so many people are watching these broadcasts with no sound off. So all they're going to see is maybe they're going to see you for a few seconds on camera. And so that's another reason why we're using these cue cards today, just to be a little bit more visual with our presentation, because it'll get really dull with no audio. I
mean, if you don't have interesting visuals, you might as well be doing a podcast. So yeah, the visuals are important. If you can get a splash of color in there, if you can get some better lighting, nothing will encourage people to scroll past your stream more than a dimly lit, poorly composed shot. So visual is important. That first visual impression, it's what's going to grab people's attention right away. Okay, next. Everyone's favorite acronym, SEO, turn on captions. These are some tips related to what you actually do after your stream ends, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So after your stream ends, there's a lot of things, little little tweaks you can do to your post to encourage that post to continue to be found within the Facebook platform. Now, unfortunately, because of the way Facebook works, the lifespan of content on Facebook is very
Short.
Very short. But there's some things you can do to extend that a little bit. One of them is by adding appropriate tags to your live stream post. So those are the keywords that people will type in to Facebook to perhaps find your content. The other thing you can do is add captions. So there's actually some very neat, both in Facebook and YouTube, automated
captions.
Captions. So that's going to translate. You can even use translation services to translate your stream into different languages. And the captions are actually great because a lot of people scrolling on their phones aren't using sound, and they can still read what you're saying, and
And you don't have to do those captions. It's all automated.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it won't be perfect.
I mean, I wouldn't want to have to go there and type everything in bit by bit. That would take too long. But hey, it's automated, so why not?
Okay, we got a question on YouTube. Someone says, how is this different than using a laptop with OBS? And I'm guessing they're talking about a webcaster in this case, because there's a lot of ways you can stream a camera to Facebook Live or to YouTube. And you could do it with a video grabber and an OBS, which is, I guess, what this person is familiar with. But with a webcaster, it simplifies that whole equation. It means you don't need to have a laptop whatsoever. You have a camera and you have a webcaster, and that's all you need to get up there. Because there's a little multi-function button on the side, so it makes it very easy and just less things to have to sort out. OBS is a wonderful tool, we know that, but there's a lot of settings there, and it's not always the easiest tool to work with. So this kind of simplifies that equation.
Can I just point out another thing? Is like when we're doing this stream, we enjoy having a laptop in front of us that we can use, whether it's to
we're using it as a source. I'm going to pull this up. You're going to see what I'm looking at in a minute here too.
Yeah. So when you free up your laptop from not having to be, focused on encoding your OBS stream, now you've got a laptop you can use in front of you. So definitely.
So there's another question on the same. I guess it's the same person. What camera equipment do you use connected to the Webcaster X2? So any camera with an HDMI out. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So you want to have audio going into that HDMI source as well. So a camera with decent audio, and that's all you need.
Yeah. You want to obviously make sure that your camera has a clean HDMI output. So a lot of older cameras, when the HDMI output actually has the overlays,
camera display,
you see all
frame rate.
You see all the numbers for the time code and the recording symbol. You don't want that, so make sure your camera has a setting, and most cameras do now, for clean HDMI out. And then you just feed that right into the Webcaster, and boom, your camera is now live.
Okay. Is it me?
Whose turn is it?
It's you did SEO goodness. Okay, no.
It's your turn.
It's me. Yes. Okay. Review the data after your broadcast. So this mountain is data, and what I mean by that is here, I'll actually give you a demonstration. If you could pull up the other layout. So for every post, every video, everything that you do on Facebook, if you use Facebook Insights, you can dig in and find out how people are reacting to that. So, for example, this is a video that we shot. Sorry, you shot.
Yeah, this is our live stream. This is from last week.
Yeah.
This is
so
this is our
we
live.
can see how people watched it. So, for example, not this one. Yeah, you can see when your viewers tuned in at what point. Boy, this was a long video.
Yeah, that was actually
47 minutes.
That was actually our longest episode.
Okay, so you can see when people tuned into it, so how long it takes you to build up that audience. You can also see when they dropped out in some cases. This is a fairly small sample size. There's not a ton of viewers on this at the same time. But if you have a lot of viewers, you can find out what content really worked well. Like when you build an audience, and you can find out what's probably more interesting is when people start to drift off and they become uninterested in what you're doing. So you can learn from it and then do a better job next time you go live.
I mean, this is how you get better at what you do. And if you actually look into researching any of the top YouTubers, they're all huge into analytics.
All the data.
Because YouTube is a great platform for video analytics. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that Facebook had all of these analytical tools. I mean, you were showing me some of this.
Yeah.
It's even showing us, how long people viewed, when they commented, when they interacted, how many interactions.
Yeah, the audience engagement one is really cool too, because you can find out who's watching your video in terms of are they men, are they women, what age group are they in, where are they. We're in Canada and Ontario here. That's where we're filming, so we have a lot of viewers from here. And you can see how many times the post is shared and how many people liked it and reacted to it. So all that stuff is going to help you understand who you're talking to and what they're interested in. So you can spend a lot of time digging into this rabbit hole of the data around all of your videos, and you might find some of it worthwhile to make a better broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, just even as without diving too deep into the data, it's nice to just see like how long it takes your audience to actually gather.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And also how quickly they fade too. We were talking about this earlier, like how long a video lasts on Facebook. And in this case, we have 300 views on the first day, and then and 2 days later we're down to like 12 views. So you can see how quickly the tail drops.
Yeah, the lifespan of Facebook videos is quite short.
Which I do wonder if they're going to try and change, because they're building up this massive library of video content that's almost all of it is like instant.
Yeah.
And so I keep wondering if they're going to start trying to capitalize on that library and be more of a VOD service.
Yeah, it's definitely, people typically go to YouTube for video on demand, but Facebook is making a push in this area. They want people to continue to find content. But the timeline viewing system is really, it's all about current events, which is why Facebook is such a great live platform, actually. So, I mean, let's take advantage of that as much as possible. If you want to be live, if you want to engage with people who are here right now, Facebook is the way to do it.
Well, they also give a lot more credence to those live posts, and they'll push you to the top of all the timelines and groups that they're in. So they're really pushing it too. So one more.
Okay, last but not least, tip number 10, boost your post. When you boost your post, you launch it into superstardom, wherever this rocket is going. But
into your chin, it looks like, actually.
So boosting your post. For those of you who have never tried boosting a post, it's actually incredibly easy to do. You can spend as much or as little money as you want. But have you ever been on Facebook and you see that little tag, it says sponsored?
Sponsored by, yes.
That means someone has boosted the post. And what that basically does is it expands the reach beyond your own social network into other networks. Yeah. And you can actually customize all kinds of information regarding who you want, what
demographics, and what interests they have, and you can be very, very specific about who you want to boost to. Yeah. So you can target a pretty audience that you think might be very well suited for your subject.
Yeah, it's definitely a powerful tool, and
it's cheap. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money.
You can spend $10. Yeah, you can put $10. You're putting enough effort into creating your stream. Why not help people find that stream? Throw $10 or $20 behind it and see what happens. It's something worth experimenting with for sure.
Okay, so send us any comments you have or feedback you have on the show here. We'll do our best to answer them. That's 10, right? That's our 10 tips. And so now you know why we've got sharks in the background. It was also because we wanted to try doing a cool green screen with sharks and blue light and stuff like that. So that we've got Pearl 2 running the sharks here in the background. Because it's good at taking in a lot of video sources.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Pearl 2 is like a webcaster on many steroids. You can switch between multiple cameras. You can have multiple sources. You can stream in 4K with a Pearl 2. So that's pretty cool. And you can have sharks swimming behind you. So check out our website. You can learn more about the Pearl 2 and the Webcaster. And actually, speaking of tips, I have a tip for all of you watching right now. Go to our website, go to the product page for Webcaster X2, and enter our contest, because we are giving away a Webcaster X2.
That's right.
So there's 8 ways to enter. It's actually incredibly easy to enter. And why not get on there and give yourself a chance to win one of these lovely devices and dive into the world of live streaming.
And I think it ends the end of this month, so you've got a couple of days to do it.
Yeah, you've got about a week. So go to our website. If you go to the product page for Webcaster X2, you'll find the link to enter the contest there.
Yep. So that's pretty much it. Next week we're going to be back here. The topic is camera techniques for better live production. So Dan is a video producer here. He's very good with cameras and things like that. So we're going to give you some practical tips on how to make a great production. What else? Oh yeah, send us your feedback as always. Write us an email at live@epifan.com. I think that's it.
Yeah, and just say hello. Tune into our show next week. It's every single Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, and we love having you all here with us. We love engaging with you. We love your feedback and comments, so keep them coming.
Yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about. We've got,
Yeah. If there's a topic you want us to dive into, then certainly let us know. live@epifan.com.
Okay, that's it. See you later.
See you guys. Let's go for a swim.